4 cancer. She was weak. She could not help any herself. Her son says, Wallahi, Sheikh, this is the greatest blessing that Allah has given me. I am washing my own mother with my hands. I am responsible fully for my mother in her sickness. The Sheikh says, this is not proper. You cannot do so because the aura, the privacy or the private parts cannot be accessed by you as a son. You should have gotten a nurse or the sister or someone else female to do it, but it happened. This brother says, one day I was with mom. Then she raises up her head up and down, nodding. And I understood she wanted to relieve herself. She wanted to defecate and urinate on her pampers. She was wearing adult diapers. So I told the brothers, Al-Asha, Al-Asha, time for supper, time for supper. Fansarafu. They went. So I let my mom finish her business. I washed her. I cleaned her. I dressed her. I perfumed her. Then I said, Ya Ummah, oh my mother, give me permission. I go drop my friends, 20 minutes, I'll come back. The mother looks at the son and says, As'alullah an yarda anka fi dunya wal akhirah. I ask Allah to be pleased with you, oh my son, in this world and the hereafter. The son, he lives, and he goes, 20 minutes, he's called back. Irji' ila al-bayt, fa inna al-walida ta'bana. Mom is not well, come back. Says, I come back home. I carry my mom with my own 2 hands into the ambulance, and she breathed her last. And the last words she said was, I ask Allah to be pleased with you in this world and the after. What will be our situation when our parents leave us? Will they leave us when they are pleased with us or angry with us? Another of the sheikhs, he was not a sheikh before. He used to take the car from home without the father knowing and go around like young boys they do. So one day the father caught him. You're not taking my car. He says, take your car. These are your keys. And he threw his keys to the father. And they left. 20 minutes, 15 minutes is called, your father is dead. And the last memory he has was he throwing the keys on the face of the father. And our final example, Ikhwani Fillah, also from Saudi. A few years back, there was an older brother who was taking care of his mother in one of the towns or the villages of Saudi. The older brother comes from the city and says to him, give me my mother, it is my turn to look after her. The older brother says, no, how can I give you my gate to Jannah? Says, you must give me, it's not only your mother, it's also my mother. You have been taking care of her for X number of years, it is now my turn. And there's a conflict. And they have to go before a judge. When the judge hears the case, he starts crying. Because the normal case between 2 brothers fighting is they're fighting over money, over land, over shares in a company, over inheritance or such. But these are 2 brothers who are fighting over who will take care of the mother. Tell me, the older brother says, I have complete right, I've been taking care of my mother all those years. This guy has just come from nowhere and is asking to take care of the mother. The younger brother says, my brother is not well off financially. He doesn't have children. He doesn't have servants. My mother needs medical issues, medical care. I have everything that she needs better than my brother. So the judge, he did not know what to judge. Says, bring the mother. The mother is brought. Says, Ya Ummah, oh mother, who do you choose from your 2 boys to take care of you? Says, هذا عيني وهذا عيني. This is my right eye and this is my left eye. How can you tell me to choose between my eyes? The judge starts crying and he rules that the younger son can take care of the mother. The older brother starts crying. He breaks down. Says, oh judge, between me and you is Allah on the day of Qiyamah. How dare you take my mother away from me? إخواني في الله فتشبهوا إن لم تكونوا مثلهم إن تشبه بالكرام فلاح. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن العظيم ونفعني وإياكم بما فيه من الآيات والمواعظ وذكر الحكيم. أقول ما تسمعون وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم وهو البر الكريم. الحمد لله الحمد لله على إحسانه والشكر له على توفيقه وامتنانه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله تعظيما لشأنه وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله داعي إلى رضوانه وعلى آله وأصحابه وإخوانه أما بعد. O Muslims, know that whatever you do for your parents, you will not be able to fully pay them for the good that they have done upon you. The Prophet ﷺ says, لا يجزي ولد والده إلا أن يجده مملوكا فيعتقه. That none of you shall reach the level of completely repaying back your parents, except if you find your parent as a slave, then you purchase them and you free them. That's the only situation. A man was carrying his mother and performing tawaf around the Kaaba, and he says some lines of poetry, this man of Yemen, from Yemen. So he says to Ibn Umar radiallahu anhuma, أتراني جزيتها, don't you see that I have repaid her? قال لا ولا بزفرة واحدة. Not even the first contraction she had when she was about to deliver you, you have not even repaid it. So you cannot repay back your parents, but you can, number one, call them to Islam if they are not Muslims. Focus on this. Give them da'wah that they do not die upon a state apart from the state of Islam. If they're tariqus salah, they don't perform the prayer, talk to them in the best and kindest of manners so that they can perform the prayer. Number two, make dua for them. Says the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, إذا مات الإنسان انقطع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاثة. Says if you die, all your deeds end, apart from three things. One of it is ولد صالح يدعو له, a righteous child who will make dua for the parent. So make dua for your parent. The Prophet ﷺ says, Amanul anta jannah. And he is continuing going up and up and up. He says, Ya Rabb, anna li hadha. Oh Allah, how is it that I'm going this high? I didn't have many good deeds. He says, Bi istighfari waladika lak. Because your child, your son or daughter was making istighfar, asking Allah to forgive you, you have reached this high status in Jannah. Number three, if your parent has missed a Ramadan, they have not fasted. They died. And they had, not a Ramadan, like a nadr. They promised they'll fast such and such. Or they had days of Ramadan that were still pending. You fast for them. They didn't Hajj, perform for them Hajj. You have debt they owed to people, pay off their debts. Number four, ikhwani fillah. Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam says, Inna min abarril bir an yasila rajulu wudda abih. Says, from the excellentness of being dutiful to your parents, especially your father, is to be good to the friends of your father. Your father is no longer around, he's died. Your work does not stop. Look for the people who used to give your father comfort. Your father used to sometimes, maybe in a week, he goes out to a restaurant with some of his friends. At least he can make some stories and and spend some time just socializing. Look for those people. Give them gifts. Make sure you look after them. Find out whatever problems they have and solve it. You are there for them like your father was there for them, and they are there for your father. ألا وصلوا وسلموا على من أمركم ربكم تبارك وتعالى بالصلاة والسلام عليه حيث يقول في محكم الآيات إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وبارك اللهم على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وارض اللهم عن خلفاء أربع أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن سائر الصحابة ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداءك أعداء الدين. اللهم انصر من نصر الدين واخذل من خذل عبادك الموحدين. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم انصر إخواننا المسلمين في غزة. اللهم انصرهم على عدوك وعدوهم. اللهم انصر إخواننا المسلمين في لبنان وفي الضفة وفي السودان وفي جميع أنحاء العالم يا رب العالمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وأقيم الصلاة.